Good morning, good afternoon, and thanks for joining me today. My name is Krisell Valenzuela, and today we're going to get into some community readings for collective healing. If you are joining me, please drop an emoji in the chat. Tell me hi. I'd love to hear where you guys are joining from. And we are streaming live right now to YouTube and Twitch, and I think even Facebook. So drop me a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're joining from. I'm going to start off with a couple of announcements because there are lots of changes happening here. Um, I hope you have like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, something warm to get you started in your day. Maybe you are joining from another time zone and maybe you're having lunch. Hey, Claire, thanks again for joining. So, this morning I am having, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. For those of you that are new here, I am a multidimensional medium and I identify as highly sensitive and empathic. And drinking caffeine for me and even having sugar is like so overstimulating to my body. So I'm actually drinking a mushroom tea with chaga ashwagandha, and it's been the tea leaves have been roasted to taste like buttercream, butterscotch cream, and it's great. It tastes like coffee because I like to drink coffee for the flavor. I love coffee flavored things like coffee ice cream. So it lets me indulge in that without having the side effects of caffeine. And I just add a little bit of honey and some maca. No, not maca. I added cacao powder to really help open up my heart and prep me for this. So, again, if you're joining, drop me a little note in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're joining from. And thanks so much for being here. So, I'm going to get into some readings in a bit, but I just wanted to share a couple of announcements because a lot of things are going to be changing here. First of all, I completed my hypnotherapy certification with Million Dollar Hypnotist Julia Oboto. Yay! Um, I'm going to be working. So I'm certified. Her program is for board certification. Um, I completed everything. I just haven't paid for my board membership. So expect to see that soon. And it's really going to be changing how I show up in my business here because I'm getting a lot more focused on who it is that I want to help. I've always been here to um, help others with reconnecting with their spirituality on their own terms and really having that like personal spiritual journey. But as I've gone through my certification or as I've like really done more self-development, I'm really here to help working moms. And so a lot of my work is going to be centered on how I can help working moms um, to thrive at home and in their career. So that's a big major change that's going to be happening here. And how does that affect everything else? I mean, you're going to see a lot changing on my website so that I really speak to that audience and share how my offerings benefit them and how you can be your future self. Um, that will change these live streams because I'm not going to be doing these community readings and I'm going to really move towards like a video blog podcast format. So I am coming out with a podcast and I want to leverage these. I'll continue to use these live stream slots, either to have like live episodes or live watch parties for any episodes that I have. TBD, still to be determined, because I even feel like this time is not working out the best for me. I'm definitely a morning person, but as I've really gone through changes over the last couple of years, I come from a paradigm that I really tried to cram everything. And I mean, that's like the plight of the mother, right? We're always trying to cram things in, make everything fit into the schedule and make everything work. And especially over the last year, I've really leaned into creating space and allowing things to be more fully experienced. So for me, that means like I could show up here at 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. Pacific time. I can show up here. I woke up like 45 minutes ago and I could be here, but I could also give myself another hour or two and then be here and be fully present because I would have been able to have my morning routine, allowed myself to like really wake up my mind and my body and my energy to be here and be at an energetic capacity that y'all deserve. Um, Otherwise, I could be here like the way that I am now and just feel like I'm just starting to wake up. I'm just starting to get started, and I'm just like picking the crust out of my eyes and that kind of thing. Where like my bangs are really crazy right now, and you should have seen them when I woke up. They were like standing up, like I look like a lion's mane. And I tried to fix them really quick because I was like, I don't have time to blow out my bangs, but they look insane. Hi, Links. I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello. And so I really want to. I know I come up here every third third week of the month as we really try to transition into a schedule that makes better sense with my life right now. And thank you. And I know I come up here and I am here and I'm sharing the energy with you and connecting you with spirit. But there are a lot of folks that I think are really great and fascinating and are doing incredible work to impact community and women. And I really love to share them with you too. So, and that's a big part of why I want to transition to a podcast format because it's not just about me, it's about all the other people that are doing this incredible work to help other women. So, if that means that, this doesn't fit for you anymore, I want to thank you so much for being here and being a part of my growth and my journey. I appreciate you so much. And if it does interest you, then join the mailing list or actually join, like, subscribe, I don't know, follow whatever platform that you're on. I do have my Mighty Networks, the Embodied Gathering, and I'm going to start leaning into that more, especially as like I love writing personal emails to you guys and my mailing list, but I'm really looking to consolidate all the different platforms that I work on. So I will be more active in Mighty Networks and less active in the email list. Um, but if you like getting those emails, you can still get those through the Mighty Networks because you can actually set it up. So I love Mighty Networks. I love my Embodied Gathering platform because I love turning off push notifications and alerts and consolidating them to like a weekly update or even like a once a day update. Because I feel like the way my brain works is that I get really obsessive and especially if there's some sort of like, um, what is it, like a metric or like a token system where the more you do, the more you earn. And so when you think about Facebook or Instagram, like those kinds of platforms where you get likes, you get follows, you get more comments and saves and stuff like that, um, those I get really obsessive about those. So I try to turn off all of the alerts and be as disconnected from it as possible, which is tough because that's where the audience wants to connect. But I love the embodied gathering because I can go on there, do what I need to do, and then walk away. And I won't miss anything out because I consolidate my alerts on the embodied gathering into um, daily, I call it the daily digest with any updates that happen in there. And then I could take care of that at the end of the day. So you can do the same thing. Um, if you are not already on the mailing list, you can join my mailing list by heading to my website, krisellcan.com. And there's a pop up there. You can join that, and people will be directed to the embodied gathering. But yeah, so there's that. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. That's really cool. Um, yeah, I forget who I learned about Twitch from, but it's been a couple years that I've been on Twitch now, and I'm not a gamer. Funny story. I grew up. There are four of us. I have three siblings. I'm the second eldest. I have an older sister, a younger sister, and a younger brother. And growing up, we always had gaming systems. My older sister used to ditch school. She would pretend like she was sick, or she would go to school and then say that she wasn't feeling well so that she could go home early. And then she would play video games all day. And I did not play video games. Like all my siblings, gamers, I'm the only one who's not. I get motion sick with first person shooter games. I really just like playing puzzle games like Tetris, and other variations of that. But I did not play any games, and I used to just sit there and watch my siblings play. So I'm not a gamer. I'm like the least gamer of everyone. But I liked this format on Twitch where you could just like come on here and stream and connect with the people. And so that's why I'm here. Anyhow, so to get into the readings portion, I do also want to share that next month, May's live stream is going to be my last live stream as community readings for collective healing. So let's have a party. Come join, invite your friends, and I'm just gonna like keep announcements to a minimum and just try to get through as many readings as possible. I think it'll probably fall around Mother's Day, so it could be a special like bring your mom. If you can't get her a gift, let her gift be inviting her to the last community readings for collective healing. Let that be your Mother's Day present for her so that she can get a free reading, and we'll have a good time. And it'll also be kind of like a farewell um, to this part of my offerings. I'll still be offering group readings and readings, but I'm going to be offering them a lot less as I focus more on um, helping working moms really shift from feeling shame and mom guilt and all those kinds of things to really thriving at home and in their career. Um, because people that say you can't have it all, it's because they don't even like they have FOMO and they're trying to have all of what other people want. So you can have it all. All right. So the way this works, this is the other fun part, is I give readings based on emojis. So go ahead and take a second to really relax into your seat wherever you are, whether you're in bed, whether you are on the couch or at a desk like me. Relax, take a deep breath. And you can close your eyes. And I just want you to bring your attention to what it is that you'd like a reading on. Like, what do you want a reading about? Do you want a reading about a question, a situation that you're going through? Is there someone in spirit that you'd love to connect with? And whatever it may be, whatever your intention is, maybe it's even just how you're feeling right now and hoping for some insight or guidance. And just gently breathe into that intention. Let the intention land in your heart. And as you focus on whatever that intention may be, and as you continue to breathe into it, it starts to grow. almost as if you are breathing and blowing into a balloon. Each exhale, that intention grows bigger and bigger until you release it. And you trust that that energy goes exactly where it needs to be. But as you sit in this energy of that big, grown, expanded intention, allow yourself to really feel that energy of what that means for it to exist. And when you're ready, you can return to the room, open your eyes, and gently move your limbs, your fingers, and your toes, batting your eyelashes open. And then you can drop an emoji in the comments. So, one of the things I'm thinking of is actually changing this time. Actually, I am going to change this time because as I got up this morning, I was like, oh, this is too early for me. And one of the questions I ask myself is, am I choosing this time to be convenient for other people, or am I choosing a time that works for me? Does this time work for me, or does it work for other people? Is really what I'm getting at. And I try to choose a time that's going to be convenient for other people, but I need to also focus on a time that really works for me. And it's simple questions like that I really hope to impart on people because a lot of times overthink, um, we over we overanalyze our decisions and we lose sight of what really matters. So, um, let's see here. And let me know what you guys think about these changes. Um, in my head, I hear maybe you could do mama readings. Like you could still have these live streams, but they're all readings focused on moms. And that's great. I think that's cool. I'll still absolutely be using my spiritual connection in how I work with moms. I think it's important for people to have awareness above what's physical and what's mental, and to really understand like your energetic awareness as well. So I'll always be teaching psychic development because I think that's key awareness that people should have. But I think that when it comes to helping people, giving people the awareness is not enough for them to make the transformation. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times um, you are still your past self. And the future self that you're trying to be, the one that has made it to whatever goal it is that you want, to whatever ideal state that you're trying to attain, they're still two very different people. And what a lot of women struggle with is that they look at the future self as someone separate from them. So, for example, let's say I want to hit 200K in income in a year, of personal income in a year. And I'm like, some exercises tell you like what do you have to who is that person, like define that person. And I may know that like that's a person that owns your business, that's a woman that has time freedom and balances her family with her business and has a lot of space in her life to do self-care and all those things. But even if I can identify all of those things, all of those like very specific behaviors and values of that future self, of that person that hits the 200K and an annual personal income as a goal, I may see them as separate. Like, I may not think of that person and be like, "That's me, though." And so for a lot of women, having the awareness is not enough. It's also shifting into or merging with that future self. And so that's where hypnosis is really helpful because it helps you integrate all parts of you. And when I say integrate all parts of you, if you think about, and this is something that I've always loved, are archetypes. Um, if you think of archetypes as different roles, different characters in a play, they're all the same person. They all those characters exist within one person. Like there are different parts of me. There's the funny side, the adventurous side. There's the serious and responsible side. There is the very social and extroverted side, but I also have a very introverted side. There's a very grounded, logical side of me, and then there's also the very creative, abstract, and spiritual side of me. And all of these parts of me exist at the same time within me. Um, and I recognize that and I accept that. And other people, other women may not see that they have all of these different parts to them and that they all exist at the same time and that you can accept them all at the same time. When I went through therapy last year, a topic that came up was dialectic behavior. Let me look this up here. Dialectical behavior, and it's relating to the logical discussion of ideas and opinions. Um, Also concerned with or acting through opposing forces. I'm going to drop these in the chat, and Ira, if you don't mind just throwing them on the screen once I drop them in the comments. So that's the definition of dialectical. Um, and if you've ever heard people talk about this and that, it's like I'm good and I'm naughty, or I am happy and I'm sad. It's all of these things can exist at the same time. And I can say personally, like, um, I've lived through so much grief work. I've had family members that have passed away, and I've felt so incredibly sad to have them pass away, but also very happy for them because I saw their suffering, and knowing that the suffering is over and that their spirit could live on in peace. That was something that made me happy, but to be sad at the same time. And so a lot of people have a hard time accepting this. And what we can do through hypnosis is really help you integrate and reconcile all these different parts. Okay, so Claire, I'm going to give you a reading. If you've just joined, go ahead and drop me an emoji in order to get a reading. Okay, Claire, for everyone that's watching the replay, um, Claire is someone that I've known. We've taken classes together. We've met in person. Claire lives in North Dakota or South Dakota. I can't remember. And she came out to California to visit a friend, and we all got to hang out. So Claire is someone that I know I have been around for quite some time, and I know Claire loves her horses. And I feel what I see is Claire surrounded by horses, and they're just um, like wild, running free. And there's so much peace and care to be around them. I feel like I know it's been really cold. I actually work with some folks that are in North Dakota, which I realize is a totally different state, but you're in that northern part of the US, and um, I know it's still really cold and you guys get lots of snow still. And I feel like I don't know if that's part of the reason why it feels like you're not spending as much time with your horses, but I feel like uh, the horses are what give you a lot of peace and happiness, and they also bring you a lot of strength. And it feels like you need to spend more time with them. Um, I also feel like there's like the physical touch aspect with grooming, excuse me, grooming horses, um, and that is very therapeutic for you. I know you've talked about equine therapy before, and I'm not sure that actually, yeah, that has a lot to do with it. Like I feel it feels like you need some of that equine therapy for, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it feels like you could use some of that equine therapy yourself or horse therapy. Um, see here. I almost it feels like being around horses makes you really feel alive. And I say that because um, it's almost like in the it's like the Greatest Showman, the movie. There's that circus act, and there's someone in the center of the ring, and the lights are on them. All the attention is on them, and their attention is on the horses. And you are that person. You're that ringmaster in the center. And okay, so oh no, flooding. Okay, so let's see here. Well, first off, it does feel like it gives being around the horses gives you the energy to take on that lead role, to take that center stage role, and to lead. And a lot of people, they would get into the spotlight and they would feel nervous and anxious because they're focused on all the people that are staring at them and the judgment. But for you, it's easy for you to be there because you don't see it as being in front of them. You see it as being able to interact with the horses. So it's like the horses are your like your totem. They're like your comfort item, kind of like how some people use a blankie. They are what make you feel ready to do that. But I feel like there's more here. So I've had so many people come to me for readings and ask if they are healers because someone has told them that they're a healer. And um, my answer to that is that everyone is a healer because everyone has their own way of contributing to communal healing, to communal healing. Um, and healing isn't a uh, like a homogenous process where there's only one way to heal people. Everyone has their own way, their own method. And I feel like with you, it's this equine therapy is just so huge because what you do, I feel like your energy moves faster and further with the help of horses. So I feel like you're a horse healer, not in the way that you are healing the horses, but that you heal others through your horses. And I know you've talked about this before. Um, and I think that it's hard for people to think of where they want to be and getting there from where they are because it feels like there's so much that needs to happen to get there. So it feels like focus on what's one small step that you can take towards that. Because starting a business where you are um, using horse therapy to help others, like maybe that's the end goal. And what you can do to get there is like, how can you introduce your horses to the people? Like maybe have an open house, maybe have an event, and just invite some friends over, friends and family, people that you already know, people that you are already comfortable with, and welcome them to meet with your horses and make it really informal. Like, don't even call it an event. Just be like, hey, you want to come hang out and help me with my horses? And just let them know, like, hey, it's not like actual work. You're just going to hang out and help me. I'll do all the heavy lifting. Um, we're just going to hang out and have fun. And then talk to those people about what it is that you want to do so that you find that safe place to start talking about your dreams out loud. Because I hear a lot about people that I hear a lot of quotes, or I see a lot of quotes about staying quiet about your goals and what you want to accomplish. And that's a very like lone wolf attitude about your dreams and what you're doing. And you should be proud of what you're doing and feel safe and comfortable to say it out loud without letting what other people think um, tear that down essentially. And so um, creating a safe space to then bring your dream into reality with others is really what you're creating by having that really informal gathering of people that you know and love you back, and introducing them to your horses and actually just like sharing with them what it is that you're trying to accomplish and getting their feedback. Because if that feedback came from someone, and I'm actually like, I feel like I'm regurgitating something that I had shared with someone about myself, but that feedback coming from people that you know and trust and love is going to be more valuable to you than if you were to open up your horses and your passion to strangers and have them give you harsh or critical feedback. It would not have been received as well because at the end of the day, they're just strangers and you don't know who they are. So create that safe space, is what it feels like. And that's the only place that you need to be right now, is that just creating that sense of safety um, for you and your horses as you look to share them with other people. You are the horse whisperer. So, Claire, thank you so much for letting me read for you. I also feel like there is a grandmother on dad's side. Do you look like dad's side of the family? Because she looks like a lot like you, but like an elder. So um, she has really gray, silvery hair. And I think your hair is blonde, right? And um, at the end of this, I just try to see if there's anyone there that wants to be known. And I see her coming from dad's side and she's hugging you. And there's so much like tenderness and love coming from her. And the way that she hugs you, it's like when you hug someone from behind and you just have your arms like around them from behind. But it feels like in a way that she's also supporting you and holding you up. So it feels like grandma from your dad's side of the family is also someone that's helping you usher helping usher you into this phase of your life. Oh, nice. Grandma Mary. Beautiful. Um, and she says, and don't you forget it. So I don't know if that's something that she used to say to you or a gesture or like a behavior. But she wanted me to make sure that to share like, and don't you forget it is what she did. Okay. So thank you, Claire. I'm just going to clear my energy. Um, so if anyone else wants a reading, I'm here. We are full-blooded Irish grandma. That's Claire said, awesome. LOL. Full-blooded Irish grandma. That sounds just like her. That is really, really cute. Okay. I guess what I can do if anyone else wants a reading, please drop an emoji in the chat, and then I'll do a reading for the group in the collective. And actually, I'm going to grab a card for this. So as I talk about spiritual awareness to help people, one of the practices that I picked up at the beginning of my spiritual awakening journey is cartomancy, which is using cards for insight or using cards for divination. And divination doesn't have to be future telling, it could also just be like reflection. And what merges, so what makes sense for me, because prior to my own spiritual awakening, like I wasn't always conscious of my spiritual connection. Prior to my awakening, I was a very rational, like, if you can't prove it, like, I don't believe it kind of person. And as I've gotten deeper and deeper into spirituality and metaphysics and energy work, what's really helped me is to help understand how the brain works. And I say this because it was probably 2 years ago that I started learning hypnosis, and I started to think, um, I started to realize that the nervous system is the intuition embodied. So I believe that your soul or your spirit puts off a vibration that creates your mind, and then your mind puts off a vibration that creates the rest of your body. And so your heart is related to like balance and reciprocity and exchange, and your stomach is related to your digestion and how you process things, and your lungs are related to your connection, your energetic connection to anything living and or any organic matter. And that's really in line with traditional Chinese medicine. And so if that's the case, then what does the nervous system represent? And to me, the nervous system represents the intuition. And as we dive deeper, it's like, well, you have your subconscious, your conscious, and your unconscious mind. And to me, your subconscious is your higher self, and your unconscious mind is just other parts. It's like your unconscious mind is like your Akashic records. It's your all of your past all of your stories, all of your histories, all of your lifetimes manifested into your body. And without getting more technical about it or like diving deeper into it, because that's a whole conversation that could take like an hour in itself. Um, I reconcile the spirituality and energy work with science is that your subconscious is like your subconscious is making everything happen. Your subconscious is directing you. Your subconscious is knowing all the things and is pointing you in the direction in the direction of the path of least resistance for you based on all of your conditioning, based on everything that it knows about you. And how it makes sense for me. And I know I bring this up because I know there are a lot of people that have a Christian background and or some sort of religious background. And for them, it's really hard to reconcile kind of this more open, liberated spirituality with what they understand as religion. And it's like, it can be anything that you want. It could literally be anything that you want. It could fit into any definition that you want because at the end of the day, it's just your brain making sense of things and your brain fitting it into the reality that you've created. So if it makes you feel better to call these the devil's work, like, okay, but really, it's just a piece of paper. It's just really nice, thick paper with pictures and ink on it that someone decided to make. And if you want to call it like channeling, really all it is someone opening up their mind to creative inspiration. And that's just free thought. So if you think that free thinking and free thought is the devil's work, then I would ask you why. Because you're doing it all the time when you dream, when you daydream. That's free thought. And so you're naturally doing the devil's work by your definition, not my definition. By my definition, that's just being a human. That's just being natural. Um, it is what it is. Okay, so reading for the collective. And with these cards, I like to pull these cards as these are cards from Megan Watterson's Divine Feminine Oracle card deck. And it's filled with female archetypes over centuries, over the last few centuries. And there's so many archetypes in here. I don't know them all, but I got it as a great book to learn all of them. And the way I like to use this deck is pulling a card for who I am, to create that awareness of who I am today. Who do I need to give myself more credit for? Like, who am I being that I am not recognizing? And also, who do I need to bring more out of in me? So, today, what I'm going to do is for the collective, I'll pull out the card of who we are, the card of who we need more to bring more energy of into, and who are we moving towards? Or who are we? Okay. And because I don't know all of these, I'm going to read a little bit from the deck. So the first person of who we are is Dakini. So this is Dakini. And her card says, my gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Yes, Dakini. And ask yourself, what is my intuition telling me at this moment? So this is who we are today as a collective. We're moving more towards our intuition. And again, that's why I'm always going to be teaching psychic development, because to rely on your intuition, to rely on your spiritual connection is to unplug from the expectations of society and just living out your journey, just living out your life. And when your soul selects her card, well, actually, let me just tell you who she is. Dakini is the embodiment of a feminine wisdom that goes beyond reason or the intellect. Dakini is translated into Tibetan as sky goer. She is a tantric priestess and a female manifestation of wisdom. She is elusive, playful, and ultimately defies definition. She represents the enlightened feminine principle of non duality that transcends gender, and she contains a sharp, quick, and uncompromising energy that can feel radical, wild, and free. Yes, I love it. So, who do we need to bring more energy out of? More energy of? And this is Moshig Labdrun, the diamond hearted Dakini. I see the light in my own darkness. I face my egos to feel free. So this is who we need to bring more energy out of. So something to share is that some of these cards, I don't think that they are related, but some of these archetypes are related because some of them are like deities, and some of them are the embodiment of the deity. So Mashig, let's see. Mashig Ladrun takes the dark and transmutes it into only more light. Tibetan Buddhists believe that Yeshi Tsogyal was reborn as Mashig Labdrun and that both were incarnations of the female Buddha Vajrayogini. Mashig's mother had an auspicious dream right before giving birth. 7 dakinis poured water over her body, blessing her, purifying her, and prophetically relating that this little baby girl would be a dakini. When your soul selects her card, from Mashik's perspective as an enlightened female, she knew that the difference between a god and a demon had to do with our reaction to them. So, yes, exactly as I was talking about, like dialectical behavior, these things all exist within you. And it's really about your relationship to them. Like, what power are you giving each one? Those who causes pain, she explained, also teach us patience, whereas those who bring gifts can distract us from our spiritual path. No one and no single situation has the power to derail us, that is, unless we let it. The power rests within us. Okay, and then who are we moving towards? So again, that was who we need to bring more energy of out. So who to embody more of. And this is who we're moving to. So Parvati, the goddess of devotion. I am a love that doesn't leave. When I commit to love, my soul evolves. That is Parvati. And yes, these pictures are beautiful, aren't they? Who did the artwork? Lisbeth Cheever Gessamin. Okay, so Parvati, tell us about yourself, Parvati. 76. Parvati embodies the divine strength of devotion. She is the mountain that love becomes when we devote ourselves to another and to our own soul. Parvati is a Hindu goddess of fertility, of love and devotion, and of divine strength and power. She is the gentle, nurturing aspect of Shakti, or feminine energy. She is part of the Tridevi, a trinity of powerful Hindu goddesses, together with Lakshmi and Saraswati. Parvati's name means she of the mountain. Her icons and depictions date back to 400 BCE. She is Shiva's wife and holds his trident, and she is the mother of Ganesha, the Hindu god who removes all obstacles. So when your soul selects Parvati's card, what is soft, gentle, and nurturing like water can be far more powerful than what is inflexible and fierce. The energy of this mountain goddess is about the strength we can give and receive when we devote ourselves to the healthy bonds of love. Parvati is about the divine feminine potency of being a calm, benevolent presence, especially when something seems to threaten a deeply meaningful relationship. Transformation with this goddess calls for softening. So when a situation is hard, even painful, Parvati is suggesting that you allow your fists to unfold. And I think that's so true as a mother, even that when our kids are throwing tantrums, or even when our kids are having big feelings, it's really easy to want to overpower them and kind of force them into submission, but it creates a very long lasting effect how you show up in those situations. And so to be able to calm yourself first and to show up in that situation and create space for them to process whatever those big feelings are is so much more impactful, not only in that moment, not only in your relationship, but in showing them what they're capable of and giving them a path of how to sit with those feelings. So yesterday, my family, we drove out to Joshua Tree, and I live about 19 miles east of downtown LA. And we took a drive to Joshua Tree. We hung out in Joshua Tree for the day. We went on a hike, climbed some rocks, ate lunch out there. We went to the Cabazon outlets and did a little shopping. We had a really, really good time. And then um, when we got home, one of my kids, my older one, he had a little bit of a, I don't know if a meltdown. Like he was upset about what he was going to eat because he wanted to eat something different for dinner. Like he just wanted to have his way. And it was like, how could you be so upset after having such a wonderful day and act like this is going to ruin the rest of your weekend? And I was really upset. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go take a shower. I don't want to engage anymore in this. Walked away. When I finished my shower, he was waiting in my bedroom for me to talk to me, and he apologized to me. And I'm always very suspicious, and maybe that's the wrong thing. It is the wrong thing, but I felt very suspicious because to me, it was I feel unprompted, and I'm always concerned. I want it to be genuine and sincere. And I asked him, "Who made you apologize to me?" And we talked about it, and he said, "No one. I just thought about it, and I'm really sorry because we had a good time today, and I wanted to say sorry." And it meant so much to me as a mom to have him come to that realization on his own and to be so compassionate and to have that kind of leadership to come to me and apologize unprompted. So I feel like that's what this energy of Parvati and the goddess of devotion is all about, is being able to soften and be soft in those moments and know that it's not weakness. Yes, it's vulnerability, but there's strength in vulnerability. Because when we think of things in a spectrum, vulnerability, weak, is allowing people to step all over you, but vulnerability and strength is using it as an opportunity to show up strong in a situation, well, by owning your opportunities. Um, okay, thank you so much for being here. That's our reading for the collective. Um, Remember, next month, May, it's going to be the third Sunday of the month. We're going to be here at 7 a.m. and it's going to be our farewell party to the community readings for collective healing. And invite your moms, bring the moms in your life. If you don't have your mom around, or if you are not a mom, by your own definition, still show up because I'm sure you're caregiving in some way. Invite your friends that are moms, invite your family that are moms, and let's just have a mom good time. So thanks for showing up, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.